Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, great people. Welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. As expected, Wike has fired back at Sam Egwu. Don't forget Sam Egwu, a former governor of Ebonyi State, who is a key Southeast PDP caucus member, was dragged out by Wike during his monthly media chat, and lambasted alongside Ochike Odenwa with another politician in Southeast that they are significant, or that they are less significant when it comes to the issue of PDP in the state. Why? Because the Southeastern caucus of PDP had said that if their own opinion is not being considered as it has to do with the issue of national secretary's position, they are going to review their relationship with PDP. Wike lambasted them. Yesterday, Sam Egwu came out also to answer some of the questions that Wike threw at him, making him know that he won't be able to do much if not for federal might, and very soon he won't see himself electing governors for Rivers State, reflecting on when he was also a governor in Ebonyi State, that he did so much in terms of influencing the election of those who were governors after him, talking about his successor. And Wike has finally replied him. Now let's look at full details of what he said through the office of his special assistant. According to the news, the senior special assistant on public communication and social media to the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, Lere Olayinka, has slammed former governor of Ebonyi State, Sam Egwu, stating that those expecting the political downfall of his principal will wait forever. It was reported that Olayinka made the remarks while responding to Egwu's comment that Wike was living on borrowed time as his influence will soon burn out. However, in a statement on Wednesday, Lere described Egwu's comment as one laced with the highest dose of envy and, in quote, bad belly. Olayinka, who reiterated Wike's position on the threat by a faction of the Southeast leaders of the People Democratic Party to pull out of the party, said it was illogical for people who could not deliver anything substantial in terms of votes to the PDP in the 2023 election to be threatening to withdraw their support for the same party. In his word, he says, unlike Egwu, who is more like a spoon-fed politician, Wike's political progress has been owing to personal hard work, dedication, commitment, and most importantly, grace of God. Someone who mismanaged his political life will always live with the mindset that others will mismanage theirs too. The PDP constitution is clear as to who is the party's national secretary. His name is Senator Samuel Anyanwu, and anyone saying or doing anything contrary is only interested in the collapse of the party. Therefore, it is funny that Dr. Sam Egwu, a former commissioner, two-time governor, former minister, and senator that could not deliver anything to the PDP in the 2023 election, is among those threatening the party to either engage in illegality by appointing someone else to fill a non-vacant position or lose their support. On Egwu's challenge to Wike to make it possible for the suspended governor of Rivers State, Semilare Fubara, to return to office, Olayinka added that this type of statement coming from a former federal lawmaker is, to say the least, preposterous. Or how can a former senator be engaged in such beer parlor talk, suggesting that the FCT minister now exercises the power of the president and commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Nigeria and the National Assembly? However, such comment has further exposed Dr. Egwu's mindset as someone living in total regret over the political progress of Wike. But can we stop him from regretting? No, we can't. That was the position that was revealed. That was the position of Wike in respect to the reaction of Egwu. And I must say that this is, for me, childish talk. Because when it comes to issues like this, I think we should wait until we make progress into the future. We've seen long lists of politicians who were very relevant. I can still remember Rotimi Amechi. It was after his position as the governor of Rivers State, before we know he was progressing. But today he has no job, and his political relevance is nothing to write home about. I think the future will tell, because You might be relevant today, but who knows? How about if Atiku Abubakar decides or wins the election come 2027? I don't know how relevant Wike will be as at that time. But that's not for me to answer. My colleague is in the house and we just want to talk about this. Looking at the situation of things and the position that Rivers State, the former governor of Rivers State and FCT minister has taken. Do you think that that reply by his senior special assistant is actually worth it, or something that would have been swept under the carpet, or possibly pretends as if he did not hear Sam Egwu?
I think sometimes you should learn silence. Silence sometimes can be golden. It's not all statements. But if you ask me, I think Wike started this first.
Yeah, exactly.
They made the statement as a group, as a zone. Wike single-handedly picked the three of them and literally tore them to shreds politically. And they're like, what we did as a zone, as a people, and we have a right to speak. Why would this single us out? We had our positions. We were also elected in our various times. Why would this pick us out, saying that we are politically irrelevant and all? And so it clearly shows that Wike was spoiling for a fight, and he got it. And I also believe all of this stems from the fact that Okoye must have gone to tell him, say, look at my people, look at what they have said. Say, don't worry. I'll attend to their issues. That's not a problem. Don't worry your mind. Don't worry yourself.
Who were the people who were frontliners in that decision making? Possibly.
Do you understand? So, but if you look at all of this, and that's one of the things that is giving Samuel Alyan some boldness.
That
even Crane, Julius Crane cannot pull him out. Come on. These guys have become gods. So these are gods of politics. And they are playing it out. And like you rightly said, Rotimi Amechi, they called him a super minister.
Yeah.
Who believed that the super minister immediately after Buhari's reign became an ordinary Nigerian citizen. No portfolio to his name, just Rotimi Amechi, Esquire. Nothing new. He now had to start furthering education.
Former.
FMR, former of everything. Look, there's something one of these former governors said. They said there's what we call the dustbin of
ex-governors.
It will come to Wike. Exactly. Anyhow, he's been trying to avoid that name. He will come to him. He tries to avoid it. He tries to do third tenure through Fubara. Sorry, Fubara is giving him that audience too. But he does not want to hear that name. He doesn't want to imagine that he is going to be in the dustbin of former governors. Yes, he is now a former governor, but yes, he is still running. In fact, they call him the political leader of Rivers State. Though former governor in theory, practically, he's still ruling Rivers. Unfortunately, that's the reality on ground, and that's where they're trying to settle to see how they can have a level playing ground. He doesn't want to hear that word former. But at some point in his political career, it will get there.
Of course.
And I think he should prepare himself for it. And it has nothing to do with money. Yeah. It has nothing to do with money. All of them are, if you watch it, all of them have money. Even if they want to say
it. What are we saying?
Even if they don't want to announce it or pronounce it.
They all have money.
They all are billionaires at some point. But it's the power now that they're actually seeking for.
When Larry talked the way he did, I'm so shocked. I'm so grossly shocked for him to lambast Sam Egwu in respect to that, because this man was not living his political well. Tell me one particular civil servant that have worked in civil service for more than 60 years. Tell me about Maradona, or maybe some best footballers who, the way they played football was as if they would not stop playing. But whether you like it or not, some of them even after a while became coaches. But somehow, they fizzle out. Whether you like it or not, this is politics we're talking about.
Time and chance.
Time comes, and when that set time comes, they'll shift you up, because there are other generations. You can't come from behind and still outlive other people. Look at Obasanjo, for example. Where is Obasanjo today? He's a former president of Nigeria. I think we need to come to terms with this reality and see how we can control that greed of going for power every second, every minute. If, for example, a man on earth at a particular time will quit, I mean, we need to come to terms with the reality. I think it's very